Welcome to everyone. In this week video you will learn how powerful and profitable are the cycles, and how to use them to trade the stock market and to increase your profits. This week video will cover the SP 500 for the week of May 13, 2024. Before we start, make sure you read carefully the disclaimer. The SP 500 and the Dow Jones Industrial Average have a similar analysis. Both indexes are on the way to form their 40 weeks peak cycle. The confirmation of the 40 weeks cycle peak will come when the SP 500 will cross below the 20 weeks cycle trend line, also called VTL by Hearst. The other confirmation will be when the SP 500 will cross below his 20 weeks cycle line, providing a potential downside target, certainly very close to his 40 weeks cycle line. Originally the 40-week cycle low was expected to form around end of June. But apparently the last 20-week cycle run little longer than usually. In this case there is two options. The first one is the second 20-week cycle of this 40-week cycle will run shorter than the nominal model, which is between 17 and 19 weeks. To keep the 40 weeks average length conformably with the original nominal model, between 34 and 38 weeks. The second option is the second 20-week cycle will be the same length than the first one, then in this case the 40-week cycle low will be expected on September. How we will solve this problem? We will fix this with the daily time frame cycles. The success rate is 66% and the cycle trend is down. On the 20-week cycle, there is nothing new, so we will go directly to the 80-day cycle analysis. The success rate for the 20-week cycle is 80%. The April 19th low is certainly the 80-day cycle low. The S&P 500 crossed above his cycle line on Friday, May 10th. This crossing gives us two important information. The first one, this confirmed the April 19th is at least an 80-day cycle low. And the second, this crossing provide an upside potential target zone between 54.69 and 54.63. Or $258 and $254 or 4.87% of potential profits. To confirm this signal, this week the SP 500 have to stay above the both cycle lines. We can expected the peak occur around the end of May, and the low around June 26. The cycle trend is in up phase. The success rate is 100%. Meaning trading each 80-day cycle signal, the targets was meet each and every time. What's next for this 80-day cycle? Let's see the roadmap. Just as reminder, the cycle line used on the roadmap is the 20-day cycle line. The last 80-day cycle low was on April 19th. The market rallied to form his 20-day cycle peak on April 29th. Then the SP 500 will start a correction to form a low on May 2nd, finding support on his cycle line, forming the 20-day cycle low. Then the SP 500 start a new rally on his way to form his 40-day cycle peak. So we are here. After forming his 40 days peak, the SP 500 will cross below his cycle line, providing a downside target for the 40-day cycle low on May 23rd. After the 40 days low, the market will cross above his cycle line, providing an upside target for the 80-day cycle peak. This peak should form on the left part of the cycle, or at the best, right on the cycle peak. After the 80-day cycle peak formation, the SP 500 should cross back below his cycle line, providing a downside target for the next 80-day cycle low. Forming a first low around mid-June, then rally toward his cycle line, using it as resistance before heading down to June 26 to form the 80-day cycle low. Let's see the 40-day cycle. The new 40-day cycle started on April 19th at the 49.53.56 low. Since then, on May 6th the SP 500 crossed above his both cycle lines at 51.16 and 51.68. Providing a target zone between 5,383 and 5,279.12, a new all-time high. For a potential profits between 162 and 214 points, or between 3.18 and 4.16%. The SP 500 is now on his way to his 40 days peak. The peak will occur on the right part of the cycle, after the red dashed line, is a bullish sign. There is a high probability the S&P 500 will find support on his cycle lines. On the May 23rd, when the 40-day cycle low is expected, the cycles lines will be at 51.89 and 50.85, the yellow zone on the chart. Depending of the amount of bullishness, there is the possibility the S&P 500 won't even reach his cycle lines. When the 40-day cycle low will be confirmed, I will draw the 40-day cycle trend line. This will help us to identify the next 80-day cycle peak early. The success rate is 86%. The cycle trend is down for now, because we always have to be ready for any situation. Here are the cycles lines and their potential targets for this week in case the S&P 500 cross below this week. The 20-day cycle. After bottoming on April 19th, the 20-day cycle gave a signal on April 26th, when crossing his cycle line at 50.75, providing a potential upside target at 51.97. 121 points or 2.4% of potential profit. 6 days later, on May 7th, the S&P 500 met his target with an high at 5,200. Between this high and the April 19th low, the SP 500 made a 20-day cycle low on May 2nd. The next 20 days low is expected for the May 21st, the yellow zone on the chart. At the formation of this low, technically the SP 500 should cross below his cycle line, providing at the same time a downside target for the 40-day cycle. The success rate is 91%. Here are the cycle lines for this week and their potential downside target if the SP 500 cross below them. The trend cycle is down. The 10-day cycle. The last 10-day cycle occur on May 2nd. The next one was expected on May 10th. Technically, the SP 500 should cross below his cycle line. Here the cycle line for this week and their potential target. The success rate is 100%. In conclusion, the SP 500 is on his way to form his 40-week cycle peak. Technically, there is a high probability the SP 500 will make a new all-time high. There is no bearish sign for now, so the bull market's still alive. Just as a reminder, all my videos are for educational purpose only. The analysis are only my personal opinion and they are not in any case a trading advice. If there is a special market you are interested in, please do not hesitate to mention it in comment below. If you like this video, please click on the like button and subscribe to make sure you don't miss any future important videos. This is the end of this week's video. Thank you for following me. Next week, I will publish another market update.